Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Building a Nation with Team Canada. And today we have a little bit of a different episode. We're going to check in with the Vancouver Whitecaps. It's been quite a while since we've checked in with these guys. And you know what? It's honestly, it's time to dial it back a little bit because there's been so much going on with the national team, all of these different competitions, all the pressure of the Gold Cup, winning the championship there in the Gold Cup. It's just been, video after video of this is the biggest game of the year, followed by the next biggest game of the year, etc., etc., etc. So let's, bring it down a notch. Let's just sort of check in with Vancouver, who is the building block of Team Canada. We're using these guys as the the focus of the nation, so that we can experiment, try things out, new players, new tactics, new techniques, and bring those up to the national team. So let's take a look at what we've been doing this season. Let's take a look at the competition. So here we are, second place overall in the Western Conference and second place in the Supporters' Shield. So we're doing very, very well this season. It's basically the three-quarter mark of the season, I guess is a better way to put it. But anyway, we've played 26 games, got 13 wins, 10 draws, only 3 losses on the season, a plus 20 goal differential, and 49 points on the season. Puts us just 1 point behind San Jose, who, as I mentioned, is doing big things this season, and you can see here that they are. Although, we have a game in hand against San Jose, so essentially we're top of the league. Let's just put it that way. All we need is a draw in this game, and we'll be, well, not this game, but whatever game we play next. Because we're not going to play an MLS game today, but we'll get to that eventually. Anyway, we got a game in hand. We're 1 point back. 49 points is very good at this point in the season. Last season, we had 50 points at the end of the year, so we still got 7 games to go, and that's plenty of time to make more than 50 points. So we're going to do better than we did last year, and that's kind of what this save is all about. Just keep incrementally improving and getting better and better. So it's been a good season so far. Let's do the checklist, and then we'll look at some other stuff. So, starting with the checklist, of course, is the academy. And the academy is, doing pretty well. Still got some top-tier prospects here. A lot of very good players. Some of them are going to be called up to the senior team starting next year. We got several of these 17-year-olds that are probably going to get called up. But other than that, not a lot of terrific stuff going on here in the academy. Finances. We are down to $31 million, but that's still really good. That's a good chunk of change. Payroll is still very high, $15 million. We're only spending $6 million of that, so no problems there. We just financially are through the roof. I almost don't want to look at league specific because it's ridiculous. $20.5 million in general allocation money. We just don't need it. We're just not using it. There's no point in money at this point in time with this save. It's just money is completely irrelevant to us. Board-wise, we are untouchable, as you might expect. 90%, looking good. We've improved just about everything we can. Might look into buying our stadium, but I don't know that that's even necessary. Might look into, I don't know that we need to even buy a new one. There's just, I don't know. Nothing really to do with our money, so we'll just keep improving the coaching staff and doing what we can. Club-wise, everything's looking good. Zebu Jr. head coach. Hot prospect Diego Hendricks, 17 years old. Captain is T-Bert, as still the captain, no problems there. Venuto is the vice captain now. He's also our key player. He just got off the injured list last week. He's been injured basically all season, and yet we've still managed to be second place. The guy who was runner-up in the Landon Donovan Award last year, injured all of this year, and the team just keeps rolling. So, what can you say? Transfers. We've got a couple of interesting transfers. Transfer history here. Obviously, you know that we picked up Rocco Romeo from TFC2. We've turned him into a superstar. the national team. Played very well. Now he's our starting central defender. So that's good news. Only 21 years old. Still got room to improve. So that is outstanding. Very good player. Picked up Jordan Faria, a guy you probably don't know much about. He's got a picture, though. Romero's got a picture, too. So, we did that. Hopefully you saw that in some of the previous episodes. But in case you missed that little nuance, we do have pictures for just about everybody now. Jordan Faria. Picked him up also from TFC2, and he's been a very good player for us. He quickly improved to 3.5 stars, and he's just been kind of a wonder kid for us. He's just been doing some great things. He's got good physicals, decent mentals, decent technicals, but he's just been playing well. Whatever his attributes are, he's been playing pretty well. Franco Politi, brought him in on a free transfer. He was a guy that sort of cut from our team and then brought back and then cut and brought back and whatever. Picked up Mark Thomas from the academy. We needed more central defenders because all of our central defenders were playing for the national team. So we picked him up, and he played fairly well as a 17-year-old. I'd like him to be improving a little bit more than he is, but, beggars can't be choosers at this point. We just needed live bodies at central defense, and so we brought him up. And speaking of live bodies at central defense, we made 2 recent purchases. Just this month, we brought in 2 young central defenders from the international ranks. First of all, Dino Leddy, another Scotsman, 19 years old. Only 2.5-star current ability, 3-star potential, maybe 4 stars if he gets on his horse and starts improving. But we just need guys who are going to play and who maybe aren't going to be on any sort of national team. So that's good. I mean, he's a decent quality player for MLS. He's not spectacular. His technicals are really bad except for tackling, marking, and heading, but that's really all we need. But yeah, if he can improve, that's fine. If not, we don't particularly need him. We just need a guy to hang out and be a reserve for us. So there we go. Dino Leddy. And then an interesting character. Julio Alfredo Villalba. Sure, we'll call him that. 18-year-old Mexican. Another 2.5-star guy. 4-star potential. He's capped at the under 20 level for Mexico. But he's a really interesting kid, and he was really cheap. Guy with 16 heading, 16 marking, 13 tackling at 18 years old. His physicals could use some improving, but we're pretty good at improving physicals around here. We've got a good training program. His positioning is good, determination, decisions. I mean, he's a good young prospect. So brought him up. He is only 5'9". That's a bit of a problem. But again, it's the live bodies that we're looking for. And hopefully he doesn't get too many more call-ups for the Mexican national team. That's been all the incoming transfers worth a note. Outgoing transfers, there's Politi. We cut him one time and brought him back and whatever. Lots of guys out on loan. Tons and tons of guys out on loan. If you missed it earlier, we sent Jordan Hamilton packing to Sweden for $200,000 just to give him more playing opportunities. Lots of guys out on loan. We finally finished the deal for Kevin Lemire, one of our academy youngsters. Went out to Nuremberg. Looking pretty good. Got to make sure we keep an eye on him for the national team. Only 18 years old. Has he played much for Nuremberg? No, he has not. No appearances. I don't know if their season... I don't know where they're at in their season, so who knows what's going on there. James Haywood out on loan, and then Daniil Henry, the big move to Atlas for $1.9 million. Basically, he wanted to go, and we needed to clear room for Rocco Romeo, so it worked out. It was a win-win for everybody. So let's get to today's matchup. It is the Canadian Championship versus Toronto FC. They're the favorites. This is the first leg. I'm going to try to squeeze both legs in. We'll see if we can do it, but here we go. They're 6-4 favorites. We're going to start off at BMO Field. Marco Bielsa, head coach. coming over from Fulham. Before that, Leeds. So interesting to see Bielsa over here in MLS. He's a very good coach. He's got Toronto playing pretty well. So let's see if we can beat old Bielsa. Let's get to our team selection here. Going to play a bunch of dudes who maybe you haven't seen a lot of, and we're going to get to see them play a bit. Got McGee in goal. Well, we'll go over the lineup after we submit this team. So it's not our strongest team. We need a guy needs a number here. Don't have a good one for him, so we'll give him 44. He wants the number 4. We'll give him double that. Double your fun, double your pleasure. Number 44. All right, so here we go. We do have McGee in goal. Zlatkovic on the left. Nerwinski on the right. So our starting fullbacks. Nothing too terrible about that. And then our new guy, Villalba, making his debut at center back, followed by our youngster, Mark Thomas. 3 appearances, 6.73 ratings. Played okay. Baldissimo at defensive midfielder. Played pretty well this year. Chesser, our other Scottish player, also has played decently in 3 starts. Stankovic, another young academy player who's played very well. 2 goals, 2 assists, 7.17 rating. He's played very well, especially here in the Canadian Championship. Veda, Zoltan Veda, the little dude, he's like 5'1". One of the smallest players I've ever seen in FM, but he's played decently. He's got a goal. 5 appearances. Venuto, as I mentioned, coming back from that injury this season. He played 9 games earlier in the year. He's played a couple of games in the Canadian Championship because he could play in the Canadian Championship while on MLS injured reserve. He just couldn't play in MLS. So now that he's off injured reserve, he can play in both the Canadian Championship and MLS. But anyway, and then up top, our leading goal scorer, Darren Sr., 12 appearances, 6 goals, 3 assists. That's pretty darn good. So we're going to give him another run out. Meanwhile, it looks like Toronto is playing a pretty strong lineup. Sean Johnson in goal. 15 appearances, 11 concessions. That's played pretty well. Garza, Mavinga, Birnbaum. Steven Birnbaum. 4 goals from central defense is pretty good. Oro. Just Oro? Okay. If you just want to be called Oro, you do you, buddy. Nanoka, Michael Bradley still hanging in there. 21 appearances this year. That's pretty good. Dougal, Stieber on the left. Zoltan Stieber, their big-time signing this year. 9 goals, 10 assists. He's been tearing it up. Take a look at this guy. 4-star player. Pretty good. 32 years old. He is hanging in there. Physically, he's dropping down a little bit. They brought him in from DC United on a trade last year. Huh. It's like 2017 DC United brought him in. Okay. He's not the guy I was thinking of then. I thought they brought in another big-name guy, but maybe not. Maybe that was that sale that they made. Anyway, they got Osorio out on the right-hand side. 2 goals, 7 assists, and Josie Altidore up top. 9 goals, 4 assists, top goal scorer. So they've got a pretty potent lineup in there, and we shall see. All right, good luck, guys. Go for the upsets, instructions. Let's do what we do here. Let's tightly mark Michael Bradley. I got a feeling about that one. It's also, yeah. Let's just do that. All right, Tunnel Talk. You sprung a few surprises. Some players will play here, others in other games, at other times, in other ways. Let's go. BMO Field. Looks to be a sellout. Let's go. We are in the whites. Toronto FC in the traditional red and black. We're going to dial back the highlights and go to key highlights. Like I said, try to get 2 games in here, hopefully. Got a rotated lineup. I don't know that that's exactly the best thing to do, but I wanted to show you some different players. I mean, you've been watching these other guys in the Canadian national team all the time. So we might as well show you a few different dudes and see if we can spice things up a little bit. See some of the youngsters like Stankovic, old Stanky here. Really good pace, some very nice physicals for a youngster. Determined, incredibly determined. He's improving in his mentals. I'd like his technicals to improve a little bit. But he is only 17 years old, so he does still have a ways to go. Here we go. First highlight, Stiebert on the corner. Sends it in. Altidore does what he does. Uses that size and strength, but can't get the ball on goal. Here we go, Darren Sr. Oh, I thought he was going to get a steal there, but no, here's Toronto now. On the counterattack. There's that man, Stieber. Got to keep an eye on him. Stieber to Altidore to Osorio. That is a dangerous trio, but McGee is there. The young Englishman is there to make the save. Still hoping he'll take Canadian citizenship, but who knows. Stieber sends it in. Villalba sends it out. Osorio back out wide to Stieber. Let's close down on him, please. Thank you. They just keep giving it back to him. There we go. They ran out of steam. They didn't know what to do. Stieber is nervous for some reason. Not used to playing in this heated Canadian championship. But he gets the ball quite a bit. Garza. Okay. Not sure what Toronto's plan is at this point, other than get the ball to Stieber, I suppose. And then he gets it to Altidore. Okay, don't mess it up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. McGee, please. Please grab the ball. And he did. Okay, mega highlight. We have a mega highlight warning. Bombs it down to Senior, who gathers it in out wide to Venuto. See what the veteran can do. Sends it back to Senior. There it is. We may have found ourselves a new striker. I think the shine may have come off of our boy, and he might be getting replaced. I don't know. We shall see. It's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to replace a fan favorite, Sean Hundle. He just got a picture. Look at him there. How can you say no to that face? But he just hasn't been scoring. Not for the national team. Not for Vancouver. It's just hard to have a striker who doesn't score. He used up all his goals in the Olympics. Nerwinski, a terrible header, ill-advised. Really wish he would have just gathered that in like a normal human being. But no, he had to head it to Michael Bradley, of all people. And now, Toronto's going to look to even things up. Now, we did get an away goal here, so that's a positive. 31 minutes down in the first half. Osorio. Oh, that's not a good foul. He got ball. Come on now, ref. All right, Altidore. He usually plants these. He doesn't miss penalties too often, and there he goes. Pretty much clockwork. Josie Altidore. Okay, so they got it back, but like I said, we did get that away goal, so it's not the worst thing that ever happened. 10 goals on the season for Altidore. That's pretty good. Pretty even matchup so far. Toronto does have the majority of possession, though. I thought we were supposed to be possessing the ball. That's not what I wanted. Tactics. Yeah, we're in positive. We're in short passing. I don't know what the deal is. We're supposed to be, yeah. Maybe Toronto's just doing a better job of possessing the ball than we are. I don't know. Okay, what do we got here? Is anybody playing particularly poorly going into half? Yeah, Zlatkovic, of all people. Not playing well. That's no good. Struggle for possession in the opposition's half. Lost a lot of possession in the central areas. It could be down to our boy Veda here. 17-year-old Hungarian. 9 under 21 caps for Hungary. You know, he's a decent player. He's already signed a contract with another team over in Europe. He'll be heading there, I think, in 2 years, maybe 1 year. Yeah, when he turns 18, so he'll be there next year. But you know, he's just not really the future of this team, and I don't think he's the future of Team Canada either. So let's make the substitution and bring in our dude who has been playing extremely well. Gideon Zelalem, valued at $4.4 million, 3-star player, 24 years old. He's not playing for the U.S. national team, so he's just been a solid contributor for us all season long, and we'll bring him in. You know, we gotta look at Zoltan. Wasn't too impressive, so we'll try to change our fortunes with Zelalem there in the middle. The other thing I might want to do, change Chesser back to his best position, which is a central midfielder. Anything else worth doing? Not really. Maybe. No, I guess not. We'll keep him at advanced playmaker. Okay, that's all the news that's fit to print. So let's go to the dressing room. Players are in good spirits. Well, let's break those spirits. Not happy with your performance out there. Shouldn't have given up that goal. We should be doing better than this. Let's go. We're the second best team in the league. We should act like it. And we need... we need to win this Canadian Championship to get back to the Champions League. We can't mess around with that. Every year in the Champions League is just another bit of high-level competition for our young players, and that's what we need. More games for more players. That's what we're all about. You know, you've seen our substitution pattern with everybody on the team playing like 6 or 7 games at least. Seems that way anyway. But that's my philosophy. I mean, you know my philosophy. If you've been here, if you're new around here, I'll reiterate, my philosophy is that if you're good enough to be on the team, you're good enough to play. And if you're not good enough to play, then get off the team. Because in MLS, we've only got 30 roster slots. We can't mess around. We can't have trash lying around on our roster. So here we go. Dougal scores from a long shot. Kenneth the Doogman Dougal, 5th goal of the season. Assist by Greg Garza. Garza with the throw into Altidore. Back to Garza. Dougal just standing there all by his lonesome. Bangs it in from the semicircle. And we're suddenly in a deficit. It's not suddenly. It's 70 minutes down. I'm not used to these highlights. Let's pause it here. And let's go on the attack. There we go. Is there anything else I want to do? I think we'll also dial that back. We'll go slightly more direct and no longer working the ball in the box. So maybe we'll take some shots of our own. Zlatkovic is still playing terrible. So we'll take him out. Mario Ahmed, another one of our young fullbacks, another guy who's still, he's up to 3 stars himself at 18 years old. He needs more playing time. He doesn't get a ton of playing time because of Zlatkovic. You saw Zlatkovic was our leading player in terms of games played. But the good thing is that Ahmed can play left or right, so when Nerwinski goes out, Ahmed can go in. We got lots, he gets playing time as a reserve for either fullback, so that's helpful. Anybody else who's not playing well? Our new guy, Alfredo, is not playing too well, so let's bring our other new guy, Dino. Dino the Dinosaur, let's go. So we made our 3 substitutions there. Probably not the smartest moves we've ever made, especially considering Nerwinski is a little bit tired out there and also not playing very well. But there's only 84 minutes. I mean, there's 84 minutes down. So there's only 15 minutes left to go. So that's not good. Shouts. Demand more. All right, we're focused. 3 minutes of stoppage time. 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Okay. So it looks like we're going to go down to Toronto 2-1. Worst things have happened. So we're going to go into our home game with a 1-goal deficit. But we have the away goal, so it's kind of like a half-goal deficit. We'll see. We'll see here. All right, players are in good spirits, not happy with your performance. How's that for good spirits? They seem motivated. Okay. Fine and dandy. We got Colorado to play in 3 days, and then Toronto, second leg after that. Foreign transfer window closes. Not that we're going to do any business or anything like that. But, yeah. We'll come back for the second leg here momentarily. So I'm going to pause it and then get to that game. So, pause. Okay, we are back for the second leg. It took a little bit of doing. It probably been an hour since I played that first leg. Gone through the schedule here. Had an unfortunate draw versus Colorado in our last game. I was very upset about that. Got scored on in the 90th plus 3 minute. Not fun. Not fun. Although our new central defender, Dino, the D-man, he got a goal. And, yeah, we don't need to watch those goals. But it was an exciting time for him in his debut to get a goal for a central defender. But we came out on the wrong end of that. And if you look at the competitions, that puts us in a tie with San Jose. 50 points on the season after 27 games. That's pretty good. Like I said before, we had 50 points all of last year, so we're definitely going to do better than last year. Just I would have liked to win that extra game, but the good news is San Jose played a game and they lost. They now have 8 losses on the season, but we picked up yet another draw. 11 draws on the season is a bit much. So let's get to the second leg of the Canadian Championship. Vancouver versus Toronto, the cross-continental rivalry grudge match. In our last 7 games, we've got 4 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw against TFC. So that's, good in our favor. But yeah, they beat us in the last game, so we are down a goal. We got to get that back. It is 57 degrees and breezy. Possible rain showers in the weather forecast. We should close the dome with this kind of forecast, but we'll see. We had a little war of words with old Marco Bielsa in the pre-game lead up to this. But hey, it's all fun and games, right? So we got our team. Let's submit it. We changed things up. As you can see, we're going with the number 2 formation. We're going to go attacking, try to get those extra goals that we need against Toronto. It's all gravy. All right, so we got Luke McGee back in goal. Kindell, young player that you probably haven't seen much of. He's got 11 appearances. He's another one of these versatile fullback prospects that we've got here. He is 20 years old. He hasn't quite improved as much as our other, phenomenal prospects at fullback. So he's gotten much less publicity, much less playing time, but he's still a pretty decent prospect at 20 years old. So I don't know, if any big team came in for one of our other fullback prospects, I definitely move them on in a heartbeat and keep Kindell as our reserve. But we might have to do the other thing, might have to do it the other way around and just send Kindell out and hopefully he gets some starts somewhere else. He is worth $500,000, so he's a valuable young player. He just hasn't developed at the astronomical rate that our other 2 young players have. All right. Anyway, he's joined in defense with Romeo Hakkinen Ahmed, guy we mentioned earlier. So another one of our fantastic fullback prospects. Baldissimo, Jack Chesser back in central midfield. Brim on the left-hand side with his 8 assists, most assists. Tim Mateo on the right. He normally plays on the left, but we're going to give him a run out on the right, basically because he was our most healthy right attacker. Venuto suffered another minor injury, so, we got issues going on there. But as you can see, Tim Mateo's only started 5 games this year because he's been in and out of the lineup on various national teams. But he's got 5 goals in 5 appearances, so we need to play this guy more often. Then we got T-Bear up top. Haven't seen much of him. He does have 15 starts this year, 4 goals, 1 assist, very good rating. So he's playing that support target man that I think he's better at. And then Senior up top got his 7th goal, 3 assists. So we'll see what we can do here. Get to the dressing room pep talk. Expecting you to win tonight. Get out of here. Nobody cared about that apparently. Set opposition instructions. Same thing. They're going with pretty much the same stuff that they had going on last time. Yeah. Oh, they got a bit of a different lineup, though. Let's get to the tunnel talk. Yeah, they got Jay Chapman in the lineup today. A guy you should be familiar with from the national team. Sort of the surprise of the national team. Played so well. But other than that, very few changes. Stieber, of course, on the left. Running down the field currently. Centering it to old Chapman. Romeo bombs it forward. That was a heck of a boot, man. He knocked that one out of the park. And that ends the highlight. So, yeah, they do have Asario, Stieber, and Altidore up top yet again. Chapman, McDougall, and Bradley in the midfield. Mavinga, Mansilla, Birnbaum, and Moore. The old... Oh, it's different Moore. It's Connor Moore. So it's a young regen taking the name of a former fullback for TFC. But he's a pretty good young prospect. He's American, so he's most likely a super draft player. Only 7 strength, 7 jumping reach, 5'4". We might be able to take advantage of him, especially with T-Bear in the game. Get our big target man matched up against him. That would be good. Oh, look at that 2-footed. I don't know what that Mavinga was even thinking. Get out of here. That looked like a Mortal Kombat move. Chris Mavinga gets the straight red card. Get out. What have they done? What have they done? They just took him out. There we go. They finally moved Asario into the middle. So they're going with a diamond formation with Altidore up top. 4-4-1. We'll see if that changes things. Baldissimo with a free kick, and Baldissimo evens things up. Outstanding young man with the cartwheel. Number 40. Giving it to the TFC fans in the corner end zone there. Giving them a little raspberry action. Baldissimo just curls it in there. Johnson unable to stop it. There we go. There we go. 2-2. Let's roll. And we're winning because we got the away goal. So it's all in our favor. We're staying on the attack. Yes, we're staying on the attack. No problems. It got us this far. We're going to keep it up. Our defending of set pieces has been far from perfect. We should put extra effort in the area of preparation in future matches. That's pretty good advice. I wish you'd told me that last week when we were setting up our training. Tim Mateo wins the header and then knocks in the rebound for his 7th goal of the season. He can score from the left side. He can score from the right side. It doesn't matter where we put this guy. I mean, this is why we put him on the national team. He's got that special something. You look at his attributes and they're pretty good. But he doesn't have that dominant physical form that we like, but it is pretty solid. He's only 5'9", 165 pounds, nothing special about that. But you look at his mental abilities, his technical abilities, he's pretty good. So there we go. 3-2 and a half, basically. Or 3.5 to 2. So we're doing well. Although if they get 1 goal, then our half point goes away. You know what I'm talking about. They get the away goal, yada yada. They're a man down. First half means nothing. Great opportunity. Very pleased. Let's just be very pleased and get to the second half. All right. First half flew by in an instant, but we did get that 2 goals that we needed. Why we needed 2, I don't know. We only needed 1, honestly, but we'll take 2. That's, not going to complain. Not look the gift horse in the mouth, as the saying goes. Charles Anthony Brim gets it forward to T-Bear. T-Bear looking. He can't center it. He got swarmed by the defense there. Oh, my God. What is happening? We just had 4 guys just bum rush him. Timoteo is fouled in the box. We're going to let him take the penalty. That was an odd series of events that happened there, but we'll take it. We'll take the penalty kick. Timoteo on a line up. He scored a free kick in the in the Gold Cup. Not so much there. Not a free kick. He scored a penalty. He scored in penalties. Not a penalty kick, but he scored in penalties. Whatever. He didn't follow suit here. We could have used that. That might have salted this game away. Toronto has gone wide, down to a 4-4-1 wide to give them a little bit of width so they can get the ball to Altidore from out wide. Dougal sends it across to Osorio. Nobody there to cover him right away. Moore sends it into Altidore. He heads it on, but McGee is not falling for his tricks. Opposition instructions. Okay, they've got Kenneth Dougal now. He's coming on the overlap too, so they moved him down to left back. All right, so we got to watch him. They're trying to fool us with that nonsense. All right, everybody else is fine. So they've gone to a 4-2-3. That's interesting. All right, confirm our changes. Here we go. McGee bombs it downfield. Can't get it to T-Bear. Romeo, though, wins it. Gets it forward to Senior. Oh, cagey head back to Timoteo. Ahmed on the overlap. Timoteo, get it back to Ahmed. Nope, he centers it. Baldissimo can't get his second goal, but that was a good look. I thought he was going to go out wide with it, but he centered it to our Segundo Valente on the late charge there. He's got 11 long shooting. That's not great, but it's good enough. Good enough to try a few shots like that. But Baldissimo has been improving. Now, he's not a guy we got to worry about for the national team, but he's a good reserve, so we'll keep him around. There's Kendall gathering it in. He's under a little bit of pressure, but he gets it to Hakkinen. Romeo forward to Brim. Brim's a guy who might get another run out for the national team at some point. Oh, great move around the defender. Through the defense, Brim all by himself. Johnson forced to make a late save at the near post. 60 minutes down. Timoteo taking the corner. Sends it in. Man, I don't know why Brim is up there trying to be a big man. Got to look at our set pieces. I've really neglected our set pieces this year. Just haven't changed them at all. Here we go. Chapman. Throw in for Toronto, but Kendall is there. Knocks it out. 64 minutes. There have been a lot of highlights in this second half. Delgado centers to Michael Bradley, trying one. Tried to loop it in there. Couldn't quite get it on target. Close game. 10 shots to 6. 5 on target to 4. 52% possession for Toronto. We got 80% of our passes completed, so that's pretty good. It shouldn't be this close with them down a man. And yet it is. And yet it is. Akinola in for Altidore. Let's make our opponent's changes there. We will tightly mark him. Confirm those changes. Not going to let him sneak on by. Delgado is in at left back. Marky Delgado. I guess they're just trying to sneak left backs in on us for some reason. So there we go. Marky Delgado. Can he play left back? I guess a little bit. Anyway, let's get back to the match. Confirm those changes. 82 minutes down. Looks like they've changed their formation again. They're just doing nothing but changing their formation. It's hard with 10 men to sort of find the right thing, but it looks like they've settled on a 4-4-1 wide. 89 minutes, 2 minutes to go in extra time. 1 minute, 30 seconds, 20 seconds. Throw in. TFC gets to Akinola. Had Michael Bradley going forward momentarily. Drops it off to Bradley. Tries to send it out wide, but miscommunication with the right winger. That's probably going to do it for TFC, and the Canadian Championship is over. Vancouver adds some more silverware to the trophy cabinet. There's the man in the red suit. There he is, celebrating on the podium with the boys, carrying the trophy off the field. 3-2 aggregate win, so we came back in that second leg at home, as you're supposed to do. Baldissimo with the player of the match, 8.3 rating and a goal. Outstanding. Very good performance. No. Very pleased. No negging. We're not going to neg anybody here. So there we go. A little catch-up with Vancouver. A lot of young players cycling in and out of the lineup as we should be doing. Like that's what this team is all about. Got Raheem Edwards out on loan. We got a lot of stuff going on here, but for the most part, things are going well. As you've seen, second in the league. We just won the Canadian Championship, so we're looking good. Next up on the schedule, we'll probably go in. Well, let me look. Let me look at this here schedule. So we have Mexico in the Nations League in September. It's currently August. I think, that's no problem. That's just a couple of weeks away. So we won't have to really worry about much more to do with MLS until the end of the season. And that'll be, we'll do Nations League and then MLS playoffs and such like that. Then it's on to 2022 and the World Cup. It's not that far away, so get excited, get hyped, and all of that. So until next time, we'll see you later.